Good evening, everyone. If you can hear me well, okay. So before I begin, I first want to extend my sincere thank yous to Vasuki, Mehmet, and everyone else involved in organizing and leading the 2021 Gallatin Fellowship. And I also want to thank my wonderful cohort, who basically inspired me all throughout this entire process and motivated me to keep doing what I was doing and see this fellowship through. So, my name is Leo, and I am currently a junior in CAS, majoring in urban design and minoring in law and society. As an undergraduate student studying urban design and architecture with an interest in law, I applied for this fellowship program to supplement my academic and career endeavors with firsthand experience in legal research and social involvement by working under an organization that is deeply committed to promoting the public interest in securing housing rights for economically and socially marginalized groups. This past summer, I worked as a legal and communications intern for Housing Justice for All. Now, I was lucky. No flights, no mid pandemic travel scares, nothing. My internship with Housing Justice for All, which I'll call HJ4A from here onwards, was actually right here in New York. HJ4A is a statewide housing coalition of over 80 housing organizations that work, as I've observed almost incessantly, in the fight to address pandemic exacerbated housing issues that have been felt all throughout the state and especially in our city. However, in order to contextualize HJ4A's work and my contributions to the organization this summer, it's important to note that housing is and always has been a big issue in New York. People and politicians like Andrew Cuomo, who was governor of New York until my last day with Housing Justice for All, tend to do this neat little thing where they tout their achievements, like building new housing developments, while conveniently leaving out the fine print, that is, that they would be luxury housing developments. A few examples are Hudson Yards, as you all know, Hunters Point South, and to a smaller scale, a multitude of standalone buildings throughout Buffalo. So, accordingly, throughout this internship, I worked directly under the campaign coordinator and organizer, Sia Weaver and Sumathi Kumar, and assisted in their research of Andrew Cuomo's involvement, his true involvement in urban housing, which they will use to assemble a comprehensive housing crisis report for the state of New York. I created a number of graphics, which I will show now. Oops, sorry about that. I created a number of graphics that compressed a lot of our findings into readable, digestible graphics, like Graciela did, actually, in tandem with the research. Ultimately, we found that in most instances over the course of 11 years, Governor Cuomo's policies and actions have repeatedly favored luxury developers over tenants, homeless New Yorkers, and regular people. Those billionaire luxury developers happen to be big Cuomo campaign donors, like Jerry Speyer, who is the CEO of Tishman Speyer and has donated almost $500,000 to Cuomo's campaign, and like Stephen Ross, who is the developer behind big projects like Hudson Yards and Hunters Point South in Long Island City. My day-to-day included meetings upon meetings, where I learned through observation, listening, and very occasional participation. It was really interesting to learn about the structure of the coalition itself, with Sia and Sumathi at the forefront leading organizations from all parts of the state, some of which had conflicting interests and required micromanaging, honest communication, and compromise. There were also frequent actions in which we would all assemble at a location, such as in front of Governor Cuomo's old office, and to protest his actions, or rather, inactions. Included on this slide are pictures from our actions, which we live streamed and documented with live updates as they went on. It was truly eye-opening to see how many people were affected by the worsening COVID-era housing crisis, but it was more shocking to see how passionate they were about taking action to improve the situation for themselves and others around them. It was amazing to see some results during my time with HJ4A. Over the course of 10 weeks, I watched as the coalition achieved some of their biggest goals for New York housing. Passage of the Good Cause Eviction Bill, which prohibits landlords from evicting tenants without a formal order from a judge, as well as the Housing Our Neighbors with Dignity Act, which allows the state to repurpose vacant hotels throughout New York into permanent affordable housing were among the major successes that I got to experience. In such a short amount of time with such driven and motivated leaders, I'm truly excited to see HJ4A roll forward in the upcoming years and to see them transform housing in this state. I hope that one day I'll be able to work with them as a housing rights lawyer and advocate. Thank you very much.